Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the McFarlane Toys Color Tops action figure of Abraham Ford from The Walking Dead. Like all the other figures in this series, this is more of a statue than it is an actual action figure. Sure, there are points of articulation in this, but they're pretty much pointless. Take this left arm, for example. The only way that this arm can be positioned is literally at his side with his hand on his hip. Like, there's no other thing that it could be doing or should be doing that would look natural. So why create articulation for it? Other than to say, hey, look, it's an action figure. See? It has articulation on it. Yay. But, like, it doesn't look good doing anything else. So, yeah, we've got leg joints here. What for? You can't put his leg in any position. I mean, there's cuts there, but, again, you're going to have his leg just sort of swinging out. Just kicked out doing like nothing. Like that doesn't make sense. I don't get it. But yeah, still I may complain about that, but that's only out there for people who are big articulation junkies. If you like Sculpt, and I like Sculpt, this is a great Sculpt. You got the hinged knee that although this knee joint, the outer sculpt does not line up properly, so that's a bit of a bummer, but it lines up good on the other knee. You got it appears to be a swiveling. Yeah, it's not a ball joint ankle, it's a swiveling ankle. You got the hinged rotating knee joint. Again, that rotation doesn't really matter. The cut in the legs, there is a mid-torso. There is no mid-torso, look at that. There, you can't even pivot him left to right. And then you got this hinge at the shoulder. At least that, we could put the gun in his arm and hinge it up or down. So there is some articulation that's worthwhile. And we get his head here, which is just a... I wish it was a ball joint, but I can't get his head to really move up or down. I think it's just a swiveling joint. Yeah, there is a bit of a tilt, so there is a ball in there. And that's it, folks. The actual application of paint on here is pretty good on this one. The gold buttons on the jacket look good. The white collar looks good. I was hunting for a bunch of these at a few different Toys R Us's. I just looked at all of them when I was there. And there's a lot of bad white collars out there. There's a lot of gold buttons that don't line up properly, so be on the lookout for that. Paint on the shoes is pretty good, though. The detail on the brown sections and the dirtying up of them looks good. The laces and the little rivets where the laces go through looks really good. One thing we got to talk about, though, is the head. And the main reason I got this figure, I freaking love Michael Cudlitz. Huge fan of him as an actor, and having him in action figure form is freaking awesome. And this sculpt is a great likeness. They did a great job with his hair. As far as Abraham's ginger hair goes, it looks good. And the hair paint looks pretty good, but the likeness is pretty good, especially considering, you know, his eyes. He can have these squinty little eyes, the mustache, the jaw, the cheeks, the nose. It's a good sculpt, good likeness. Now, if you're hunting for this in stores, there are a lot of bad paint jobs out there, because I saw tons of them. The mustache can be over his lips, so he'll have like a brown mouth or an orange mouth. There's random dirt. His face can be too dirty or too clean or too like shiny and waxy. The eyeballs can be painted onto his eyelids or like overly painted or underpainted. There can be so much skin paint that you lose the definition of wrinkles in his forehead that are super smoothed over. You can see mine's got some glop under his lip there, but I'll take that glop, considering that the rest of this was perfectly painted, but there's some bad eyebrows. This is a really inconsistently poorly painted line, I gotta say. Across all the figures I've reviewed, I mean, I've managed to pick some winners, but that's like winners out of a series of really, really bad ones. Now, it comes with 2 accessories, well, 3 if we count the stand, but there is this little rocket launcher, which is really well done as far as like the details go. The sculpt of it's really, really nice. The little silver tip at the end looks good as far as the paint goes. We also get this machine gun, which has a pretty good little sculpt to it. There's a lot of nice little details in there. You can just see like the little magazine clip, little nooks and crannies on it. It's a black base with a little bit of gray paint, just to highlight very subtly. Nice effect. We also get the figure stand, which is the same basic design as all the other figure stands in this series. The foot plugs on pretty easily, like so. And yeah, there you go. Should put one of the guns in his hand just so we can see that. It appears to fit pretty easily into the hands. You just got to kind of scoop the index finger over. And there you go. Looks pretty cool. I'll also put in the machine gun. Not the machine gun. The little missile launcher. Actually, I called this a machine gun earlier, and I don't even know if it is. That might just be like a rifle. I'm not hip to stuff like that. You can call me a dummy in the comments if you want, but yeah. Here he is with the missile launcher, and you can kind of just cock that up in a cool kind of pose like that. Bend his knees back to make sure he doesn't topple over. There you go. He looks pretty rad, I think. My one complaint, as far as the design, not the execution of paint jobs or whatever, is that when you think of Abraham, you know, I think of him in his classic wife beater, or maybe later in the seasons when he's wearing, like, that jacket. But what I don't think of is this. And granted, this was a fun moment in, like, an episode, I think the end of one, the beginning of another. He does wear this. Is it a funny beat? Yeah. But if you're going to make it action figure Abraham, I wouldn't immortalize him in plastic in this. I'd give us the classic Abraham. Give us him in the wife beater. The classic Abraham look that we all know. This is so scene specific. I really think this is a missed opportunity to make a really, really great classic, you know, 6-inch, 7-inch detailed McFarlane Abraham figure that we all know and like. Despite that complaint, I still like this because the likeness is good. I'm a huge Cudlitz fan. I'm a huge Abraham fan. So yeah, I still like this, but this is a missed opportunity. Thanks for watching, everybody. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff.